The Leader of Her Majesty's Royal Office.
Mr. Speaker, my question is for the Premier. This Liberal government has no business in possibly spending millions of hard-earned taxpayer dollars on self-promoting hydro ads. They are blatantly partisan, and they are littering radio stations and social media in a sad attempt to save this government's falling popularity. Mr. Speaker, will the Premier do the right thing and stop spending public dollars on these advertisements and order that they be cancelled today? Yes or no?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I've been traveling the province. I've been talking to people for months, Mr. Speaker, including last week, and people are very, very concerned about their hydro bills, Mr. Speaker. The Leader of the Opposition knows that. He knows, Mr. Speaker, as does the third party. They know that people are looking for relief, that the work that we have done up until now, Mr. Speaker, that there's more that we need to do. That's why the 25% reduction is very important. So, Mr. Speaker, we're moving ahead with our plan. I would have thought that given the noise from the other side, Mr. Speaker, they understand that people are concerned about their electricity bills, that they would be supportive of the changes that we are bringing forward, Mr. Speaker, that will give real relief to people across the province.
Mr. Speaker, again to the Premier, and as the Premier travels the province, no one is asking for more government vanity ads. The Liberal government has a bad track record, a long track record of misusing taxpayer-funded ads for partisan purposes. We all remember the $8.1 million in self-congratulatory ads for the job-killing pension scheme that never came to fruition. $8.1 million just to pat themselves on the back. Mr. Speaker, how many millions of dollars is this government going to waste on more self-congratulatory radio ads?
So, Mr. Speaker, the two issues that the Leader of the Opposition has raised, retirement security for people across the province and lower electricity rates, Mr. Speaker. I'm extremely proud of our record on delivering both of those, Mr. Speaker. The reality is that this Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Speaker, sat in a federal government for 9 years. Federal government, Mr. Speaker, for 9 years that wouldn't even talk to the province about retirement security, wouldn't even talk about Canada Pension Plan enhancement, Mr. Speaker. We've moved on that. We now have a national agreement on pension enhancement, Mr. Speaker. We have an enhanced Canada Pension Plan because of the work that we did on the ORPP, Mr. Speaker. In addition, we're going to deliver lower electricity rates, Mr. Speaker.
Final supplementary. Member from Bruce Grey, Owen Sound, come to order. Final supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, again to the Premier, it really is unbelievable. When people can't afford their hydro bill, this government is spending millions on vanity ads, self-promoting their own agenda. I'm going to read a quote from the Auditor General. The ads likely would not have been approved under the old government advertising rules. That's Auditor General Bonnie Lysyk. The changes the Liberals enacted in 2015 reduced her office to a rubber stamp. I'll continue the quote from the Auditor General. Under the previous legislation, it would likely not have passed because it does convey a positive impression of the current government, and it's more a pat-on-the-back type of advertising. Those rules were put into place to prevent Liberal wasting taxpayer dollars on vanity ads. They changed the rules so that they could use taxpayer dollars to promote themselves. So, the government can dance, the government can point the finger, the government can avoid answering the question. For years, they complained about these type of ads when they're in opposition. They come to government, change the rules to not allow this to happen, and now they're doing the same thing. Mr. Speaker, to the Premier, are you going to continue with these vanity ads?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Premier.
This is a very important issue, and the reality is that when this government came into office under my predecessor, there were virtually no rules around partisan advertising, Mr. Speaker. And in fact, I can remember sitting in this gallery and listening to the Liberal opposition.
The member from Dufferin-Caledon come to order. Premier.
I can remember sitting in this gallery, Mr. Speaker, when the Liberal opposition was asking the then Tory government about advertising that had the Premier's face in it, Mr. Speaker, that was all over. There were kids out of school because there were strikes, Mr. Speaker. There were hospitals being closed. The amalgamations were being imposed, Mr. Speaker. Chaos was reigning, and the Premier of the day had his face all over advertising. We changed those rules, Mr. Speaker.